Welcome, 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 welcome. We are back on the Temporal Recruit. A lot of things have happened since the last time I've played on this character, at least. My free-to-play Temporal Recruit. I've actually finished out his transponder here. The last couple things I needed to do were the Admiralties and the duty officer commendations. Duty officer commendations, I just basically sat in the Undine battle zone for a couple weeks, basically, while I was at work, and had free time to kind of look over my shoulder every now and then to click on some buttons, and eventually finish it out. And with the Admiralties, I just beat it with a hammer, basically what it comes down to. Just a little thing to show that you can do these things with a free to play account. So as you can see here, I have less than 100 officers. A lot of these, I quickly threw a whole bunch on my active and my ground. Just to give myself some space after I completed the final two sections of the commendations, these two, because you get officers out of this, and I didn't have enough space on my within my roster, so just threw them into active. But yeah, so did that also with Admiralties. It's just one of those things that once you actually start getting going, and I've actually finished up, because the last one I didn't do was the Romulan. I finished up the Romulan the last time we had a bonus experience with Admiralties, and it made it really easy. Once you actually start getting like two of these done, the third one starts becoming a little bit easier, mainly because you get the epic ships from the other two Admiralties. So if I remember right, not the Sally Ride. I think it's. I do believe that. Yeah. So the Rhode Island, it should be the Federation one. Actually, I could probably check. Because you can go here. This should tell you what you get when you do that. So yeah, the Rhode Island, and then I also got the IKS Hue, and so once you get those, they really do help out. Anytime you get a science ship, science ships are very important when it comes to Admiralty, so that helps out, and then a nice little engineering ship that gives you bonuses to science. So the ramen came pretty easily at that point, and so that completed all at least three. The the Fringy one does not count towards at least the transponder here on the three that you must do. If I remember right, yeah, it says a Federation, Klingon, or Romulan. I made that mistake on my main account. I did the Fringy first because the Fringy's 10-day tour of duty bonus is pretty good, and so I did that first. Didn't work out quite well for me. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited. This on my free to play account, I've finished all the recruits. All the Delta recruits, the Gamma recruit, and the Klingon recruit, and now the Temporal recruit. And the Gamma recruit and the Temporal recruit are the most time intensive, only because a lot of these things just takes well, with the Temporal Recruit, you have to gain 3 primary specializations, which that's 90 levels of specialization. So that does take some time. And, of course, the you have to do the Admiralties and the accommodations. Though the accommodations actually, once I started bunkering down or bunkering down and actually doing it, took me probably about 2.5 weeks, somewhere around there. So accommodations aren't bad if you're just doing them every single day, and it's really dependent upon how much time you want to spend on it. But yeah, a couple other things have happened. I have pulled all of my deal off the deal exchange, and the reason why, and I don't have a whole lot. The reason why, because I have enough Zen right now that by the time the free to play, or not the free, but the 10th anniversary comes up in the summertime, I should have enough Zen to get it. And so that was my main concern. Also, the other thing is that I don't know if you've known, but the Zen has plummeted over the last month, and it's amazing. It has to do that. There's been some stuff going on, and like that where bots have been called out, and they're starting to pull out, and there's been changes that have been made to things that bots been using to bot, and so the combination of both those things, and so it has made a huge impact. I will say that, yeah, I'm on two camps here when it comes to the dilithium exchange. Is that on one end, on my paid account, I want to see this as high as possible. 500 is great because I'm gonna go buy Zen, and I'm gonna trade that in for dilithium because I spend most of my time on this account when I'm doing anything, and so I don't have a lot of free time on that account. So that's how I gain my dilithium if I really need large batches of dilithium. So it makes me sad when when this starts to drop. On the other hand, on my free account, where I need the most effort or need it to be the most, I'm happy to see it dropping, and we'll see how low it goes. Hopefully, at some point, it reaches the console values, which are somewhere around the 200 to 300 range, which would be really good. Well, we'll have to see. It really depends on just a whole lot of factors to see how far down this will drop. But it's looking pretty good now. Like I said, I pulled it out because there's a possibility that if this does drop below 500 and drops somewhere within the, whatever range it is, anything better than 500, and it makes it to where it has standing offers available. No matter how much dilithium I have at that point, I'll be able to trade that in for any Zen that I need at that point. But a couple other things. The 13th anniversary came out since the last time I've actually streamed on this character. I did stream me purchasing the 13th on my main account. A couple of those ships are really good. I was really surprised about the Monitor. That's a really good ship for a science ship. That's coming from me. I don't like science ships. I'm just not a science player. I can play tactical and I can play engineering, but once I jump into that science pool, I'm just I'm like a 3-year-old in a kiddie pool. And then the Hydra was really good. Now I'm not like a super DPS chaser. I do have some pretty good gear in my characters, where I can do a lot of content pretty convincingly, but I don't have like massive numbers to compare it to. But what I do compare it to is by how something feels when I'm flying it, and the Hydra felt really good when I was flying it, and so did the Monitor. Both those felt really good. The other one, the Eagle, which it seems to be getting a lot of praise, I guess, a little bit. I didn't like so much. It didn't feel as good as the Hydra did. or the monitor, but it was pretty good too. But yeah, that's what's been going on this character's lifespan. Happy to have this done. It means I don't have to spend too much time. Oh, and I had been working on my dilithium characters, but I've kind of pulled back on those. Man, I have. I'm almost to the point where I'm burnt out on farming dilithium, and it kind of makes sense when you're on the almost 30,000 dilithium mark when it comes to farming. But I've been farming heavily since about Thanksgiving, a little bit after Thanksgiving, and it's got me burnt out on doing that. So I do have some characters I'm still working on getting dilithium on. That's these right here. Probably gonna take a break from it at least until the Delta recruits come, and it really depends on how they do that. 2 years ago, when they brought the recruits back, when the Klingon recruit first came out, the pattern was it was Klingon, Delta, Gamma, and then Temporal. So Klingon in February, it was Delta in April, the Gamma in June, July, and then the Temporal in October, November, or September, October, somewhere around there. And then last year, they flipped the Delta and the Gamma around. So we'll have to see what they do now. They haven't really announced anything on what they really plan on doing with recruits this year. They just have said they're going to have the recruits. So I have to see when it comes to doing dilithium, at least the way I do dilithium, which is through reputation. The Gamma recruit and the Delta recruit, or not the Gamma, but the Temporal recruit and the Delta recruit are really good for that, because you basically start out with having enough reputation for almost completing all the way up to tier 6 within your rep. But yes, but I'm still working on these and slowly getting through them. But I'll probably be taking a break from getting dill, especially with the dilithium exchange dropping, just because I'm not exactly pushed as hard to get dilithium. So we'll see how far this drops. It did drop really fast. It slowed down a little bit within the last couple days. It got stuck within that 2 million mark. But yeah. But with that being said, that's what's been happening up to this point. Now let's go ahead and finish out this Gamma arc, and I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take, just because there's a lot of talking within these episodes, and I'm assuming home is going to take a very long time, and you'll see while you're watching, because there's a lot of talking in home. But we'll see how that goes. But I will say before we get started, just because I'm probably going to forget at some point, if you do like what you see, please like the video. If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You're notified when I stream or post a video. Also, I'd like to thank everybody who's watched the Klingon recruit video and has liked that and has commented on that. I really do appreciate the appreciation for that. Hey, thank you, sir. And so I do appreciate that. But all right, let's get off to the Havas Cool system and continue on with the Gamma story arc. Oh, we're going to actually back out of this because I forgot to turn my volume on. I generally play the game without volume because I'm doing other stuff. Actually, it's mainly because I have the game running while I'm at work. As I'm working, I have other small stuff like me doing accommodations in the Undine zone, and means I don't want sound popping up. So we'll back out of this. The bright side is if you didn't know, you can back out of a mission depending on where you are. Depending on where you are. Yes, Garrick, we're gonna completely ignore you. Back out of here and turn my volume back on. Got my fighters in the way. Sound. There we go. Did I move that far away? Oh, there we go. I'm not reading any Herc ships on sensors.
Nor I. Isn't that strange? One would think they'd place a heavy guard on their home system. How peculiar. Let's use this opportunity to look around. Quietly, of course.
Agreed.
We're reading a number of interesting phenomena, despite interference from the nebula. Let's see. Plethora of heavy metallic compounds. A hotbed of tetryon and thermobaric energy throughout the nebula.
There's a moon nearby. Preliminary scans aren't showing much, but it's just the kind of place the Herc could be using to hide a base. Or a fleet. I'd like to take a closer look.
Let's move in.
The pulsar's throwing off a lot of hazardous energy.
Most astute, Captain. Let's make the appropriate shield adjustments.
I don't like this. Scans are showing a lot of bare rock, but no metals or compounds. It's a lot like...
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Herc, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps we should send down a probe, just to be absolutely sure. There could be some Herc down there, hidden by the nebula's effect on our sensors.
I'll send a probe then.
It's barely Class D. No metals, complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Herc patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
The probe is online and transmitting. Our science teams are taking a close look at the incoming data, but it doesn't look terribly promising. Shall we forge on? There's a lovely planet nearby, no doubt filled with a bounty of toxic rocks and metallic salts.
Helm, set a course for the planet.
Entering scanning range now.
These astronomic readings are strange. The planet has a highly eccentric orbit. Looks like it collects matter from the nebula as it sweeps around the pulsar, all while being bombarded with radiation. Definitely not habitable by most standards, though it's not quite demon class. An orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Herc life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergencies of the Herc. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Herc. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there.
5 to beam over.
I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV suit before you beam down. Once you're suited up, we'll beam you down to the secure zone. It's just below the planet's surface, in a large cavern area.
Let's check with Kira's away team and see how they're progressing.
I should have a habitation area set up soon. We can replace the reducing atmosphere in this cavern with standard oxy-nitro, and warm things up a bit. Kane's keeping watch, and Weir is looking into other connected areas. We should have a perimeter field up within a few minutes.
Carry on, Williams.
Lot of background radiation and some wild magnetic fields. It's like the pulsar and the nebula are supercharging the metallic crystal compounds here. The environment's very different from anything we'd consider a habitable planet. Explains why the Herc are so alien. Quite a treasure for a geologist like myself.
Carry on, Ishimura. Defiant.
Everything's in order here. Defiant, do you still have a locker?
Affirmative. If you need transport, there may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder. Up there!
Glad you're still with us. Whatever that was must have left you for dead. I'd get moving in case it comes back to make sure. Looks like you're in a series of tunnels that connect to a larger cavern. Garrick and Bashir are close to your position. They're moving into a large open chamber. Try to make your way to them. Be careful. Some of the crystal formations down there are emitting intense amounts of energy. We can't lock onto anyone with transporters, and the others are reporting the directed energy weapons won't work.
Understood, Captain.
This is Bashir. Garrick and I are alive, but we're a little lost.
Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber. The creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
Garrick and I are moving into a very large, oblong chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make a nice vacation spot.
Looks like the door to the next chamber is locked.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal node are interesting. It's generating a localized magnetic field. Manipulating that field could cause a response similar to pushing a button or flicking a switch. I wonder, do you think Herc can sense magnetic fields similar to sharks on Earth?
Let's stay on point, Doctor.
Yes, of course. I think you'll find a way to manipulate that magnetic field to open the door. The morphogenic crystals are probably the keys. So look for one nearby that has a similar output to the door node.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak. It probably isn't usable. That one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest. That's the one you need. Use it to open that door. There's a deep crevice ahead of you. See if you can get across. Hazardous energy and anti-gravity ahead. Use your thrusters. Creatures turn back. Must not like anti-gravity. Slow and steady, don't get lost. Try to head up when you can.
Garrick and I have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze. Not sure how to get out.
Ishimura here. My nav system's useless. I'll keep trying to find you all.
Receiving your transmission from the console. Analyzing now. There's a lot of historical data and cultural references in there. The short version, the Herc used to be a peaceful species. There's talk of a great betrayal and some kind of epidemic. Then the entries just turn into gibberish. This one looks like technical data. Interesting. None of their starships had weapons until 2,000 years ago. Their first designs were way ahead of most species at that time, though. Huh. How did they go from geniuses to the ravenous eating machines we're dealing with now? Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out. Bashir and Garrick are just past this chamber. We're picking up some interesting tech on sensors. Interesting and old. Very old. Most of it predates the Federation by several centuries. Are you reading those energy patterns on the other side of that opening? They're far more intricate than the others we've seen. We think there's some kind of ship ahead of you. It shows signs of damage. You might be in some sort of dry dock or repair facility. Interesting. There are large gaps in tech level between each section of the facility. It's as if the Herc learn as they hibernate. They wake up with 1,000 years of advancements at hand and get ready to work.
This console looks like it can operate the door here. Scoffin. Garrick?
A pleasure to see you. We'll need all the help we can get if we're to leave this world alive. To that end, the good doctor and I have started to make sense of our surroundings. We seem to be in some sort of Herc command center. From here, we can begin to restore power in critical systems.
Herc technology is driven by electromagnetic manipulation of morphogenic crystals. Doors, life support, everything, even their central computer. If we can find the right crystals, I can bring things back online. We can look for information on Herc biology within their data system. We might even find a cure here. I found a little information. This planet used to be rich in a type of fungus. It thrived in the harshest of environments, even areas high in pulsar radiation. It used to be a staple of the Herc diet until it disappeared from the ecosystem. Without it, the Herc began to suffer from a severe type of malnutrition. It led to a number of neurological disorders, many of which we've seen firsthand. Based on these readings, there should be more data storage units in the tunnels beyond this chamber. They're the ones by the door with the blue glow rods. One more thing. Some parts of the tunnels still have malfunctioning gravity systems. You should be able to navigate through them, but the energy fields in there will nullify your weapons, so be careful.
I'll get those strange crystals. Rumo?
Oh, good. You made it. We were about to leave when... No! No!
What's going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined. enshrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries. That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Herc and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
Welcome, General Kenobi. General Kenobi. There are two ways you can go from here. You can actually head down this way. This will activate an anti-grav you could use to get over this area over here. But I like to go this way.
That's Kane's helmet. I have a feeling we won't find the rest of him.
Hope you're having a good night.
One of your officers has arrived here.
Marshal Janeway.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here before...
William! It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Yes. Unfortunately.
The Herc tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed.
Ah! Well there, sir. Tarsi. Tarsi. Are you okay? Wake up.
One of your officers has arrived here.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
Poor Williams. Guy never had a chance.
My god. The enzyme the Herc need is a precursor to Ketracel.
Uh-oh. It's the first time I've got myself turned around in there in a long time.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Yeah, this is actually a really good mission. I like the atmosphere that they put in this mission. It's actually pretty good. I feel like nope, I'm going the right way. Game over, man. Game over.
One of your officers has arrived here.
Dr. Bashir?
Nicely done. We should be able to translate Herc data files and run a detailed analysis of them at a greatly accelerated rate now. I have a good friend in Starfleet Engineering that would love to spend some time with this technology. The Herc have made some remarkable advances in their time. Ah, the first results are in. Excellent. I have access to a few critical systems, including gravity and power generation. Bringing them online now. That should make things go a little smoother.
Indeed.
I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment to process it. Well, this is not good. It's a record of the fall of the Herc civilization at the hands of the Dominion. For some reason, the Dominion removed the fungus from the ecosystem during the Herc hibernation cycle. Military conquest, most likely. This is what drove the Herc to madness.
It appears we have some uninvited guests.
You're a long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Ah, traveling incognito?
One of her many covert identities, I suspect.
This expedition of yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And your role in it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Herc were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying the Herc biology, I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor.
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Gem Hadar.
I think I've heard enough. I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this...
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
You would kill another founder?
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you, against the wall.
Odo, this is getting out of hand.
Stop this, now!
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
What now?
You forced my hand. This is a modification of your own Herc lure. As we speak, every Herc in the quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam. I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld. Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
One of your officers. One of your officers.
See, it's even worse than the.
That's our cue. Now that we have restored operations here, our ships will be able to lock onto us with transporters. I suggest we take advantage of this while we can.
So it's even worse than Dominion being responsible for the Herc, is because the Founder was the Zenkethi general who was bombing worlds with Herc on it for with protomatter bombs. So, yeah, it's a lot bigger than just the Herc. Vengeance, 5 to beam up.
You did this? All of you? You killed a god? My god? My beautiful founder. Gone forever. I loved her so. And now you'll pay the price. Guards!
Enough, Wayun. All of you, stand down.
No! You betrayed her! And the Dominion! I will carry out her final order!
That Founder is no more, Wayun. This Founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no Founder! She was a Founder! He is a traitor! Guards! Shoot to kill! All of them!
Belay that order.
What?
We do not serve you, Vorta. Where this Founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend.
Fine. Then I'll do it myself.
Take Wayun into custody and return to your ship. We have business at the home world to attend to.
Tell me, was it part of your plan to draw every Herc in the sector to this system, Garrick? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
Right behind you, Captain.
Try to hold them off. I'll see if I can arrange a distraction.
Yeah, both Garrick and Cork in this whole storyline are written really well.
The Herc have departed for the Founder homeworld. It will take them some time to reach it, even at maximum warp. We should make the most of that time and bring an end to this madness. The information that the good doctor found should do just that. For now, let's return to our respective fleets and prepare for the next and hopefully final steps of this journey.
Thanks to Garrick, my homeworld is under siege. I realize there's not a lot of love lost to the Founders these days, but if the center of the Dominion falls to the Herc, the rest of the galaxy will soon follow suit. If you're willing to stand with us one last time, assemble your forces and rendezvous with my fleet in the Gamma Quadrant. I hope to see you there before it's too late for all of us.
To be continued in 2 minutes.
There's a certain poetic symmetry at play here. The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course, our work is just beginning. We need to formulate a cure for the Herc before they devastate every system in the quadrant. Hopefully, we can achieve this lofty goal before they make a meal of the Dominion. And again, science is often a lengthy, perilous process. I'm certainly glad to put Havas Kul behind me. Small, dark passages are not a passion of mine.
Don't need anything on this.
Empersa, the homeworld of the Founders, is under attack by the Herc. This is our darkest hour. If Empersa falls, the Dominion will come to an end. I'm asking you to join in the defense efforts as soon as you can. A task force will assemble at my fleet's location in the Gamma Quadrant and warp to Empersa from there. Remember, if we fall, the Alpha Quadrant is next. It's time to make a stand. I hope you'll join in the fight.
This set right here is the best Polar End set. You'll find most people run every piece of this set here on Polar Run builds.
If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, I actually got this ship on the exchange for 240 million EC, which I was absolutely shocked and surprised that it was on the exchange for that low. And I happened to have the 240 million EC, and I snapped it up as fast as I could. And it's been my ship ever since. There are some ships that I feel that are better than the Vengeance, but it is, by my opinion, one of the better ships. It's also a good surgical strike ship, though I don't have the legendary bug, so not a good surgical strike ship for me on my free-to-play account, but it is a good surgical strikes build. I just use it as a fire at will build. Slowly building on what I have for this. Though I will say the Vengeance looks absolutely gorgeous in TOS liveries. Absolutely beautiful, and it makes it realistic. I could see a heavily armored dreadnought flying around. But in the TOS era, especially since Discovery kind of rewrote the book on what nacelles should look like in that time. So it's possible, but yeah. Let's head to the Founder homeworld. I will say, if any of you guys are doing your endeavors, the mission home is a really good mission for endeavors. Because one, it's a great place to kill Herc, ground Herc and space Herc. You can generally clear out any space Herc endeavor in the first wave. You can clear out any ground endeavor for Herc once you get to the ground. And if you're looking to kill captains, which tends to be the one that people find really annoying, home is really good. It's because the first ground portion of home, even on normal, has a captain in every single room. So you will kill enough captains to complete the captain endeavor before you get out of the first ground portion of home. So my advice, just if you're doing endeavors, home it is an amazing mission. Now it does require you to get up there in the missions. You can't jump ahead in missions until you hit 65, but once you hit 65, you can skip the Gamma arc if you're not going to run right straight into it, and just go ahead and just get home there so you can fast travel to it. But highly suggest to use that mission for endeavors. Just a sneak peek of my endeavor video that I'm writing that I haven't fully recorded yet. It's coming though. It is coming. I am working on it. I've got the script almost 75% written. But
previously on Star Trek Online, the Dominion as you know it is on the verge of collapse. Without your help, the Herc will win the war of attrition.
What's happening?
Yes, Garen, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Karevan tech.
I found a similar device on Bejor.
These devices called the Herc, and we put them there. The other founders are hiding things from me.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
We can't hold off the Herc forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother. Otherwise, we're doomed.
Sword of Kalis, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
You found a secret I've kept for millennia.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow it. As we speak, every Herc in the quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And now the conclusion. I arrived here ahead of you, and I've already engaged the Herc near the planet. You've made your point, Garak. Deactivate the Herc lure device you placed on the home world before this gets out of hand.
Agreed. Bring an end to this, now.
I'm afraid that's the problem, Ambassador. I deactivated it several minutes ago.
Excuse me?
Then why are the Hercs still attacking? Don't play games with me here, Garak. I'm warning you.
Counselor.
Perhaps they're still attacking due to a deep hatred of your people. After all, the Founders are directly responsible for their state of mind, body, and soul. I can't say I blame them for...
Gentlemen.
Enough. Both of you, we don't have time for this. There's bigger problems to deal with here, starting with that swarm of Herc vessels nearby.
Captain makes a great point.
Agreed. My fleet is already engaged near the planet, but Herc reinforcements keep arriving. Try to punch through the swarms so we can join up.
Very well. Helm, take us in. This is...
You may be needing your solution to this problem soon, Doctor.
This is,
Some might argue it's succeeded.
So this is the Type 0 skin, which is the TOS skin, and the one of the beta designs for the.
This is the Chimera. We're here to help.
The CSS Steadfast stands ready to assist you as well.
So yeah, so it's the Type 1 skin, the and then the one of the different options for the numbers and letters.
My ship won't last much longer. We need to deal with the swarm attacking it immediately.
I do like
it's as ready as possible, Captain.
I do like the Kelvin one. The Kelvin skin doesn't match this character, Space Barbie wise, so I changed it up. Though the Kelvin, just the standard Kelvin design is really nice. Just the black design.
Well done. The ship's taken heavy damage, but she'll survive.
Well, we've bought ourselves some time. Let's hope it's enough. Julian, is your plan ready? It may be our best hope to end things now.
It's as ready as possible, Captain. The challenge of frontier medicine, I'm afraid, is that there is never enough time. I've created a program that will enable the Herc to synthesize the compound they need to come to their senses. I've also put together a core sample of the compound for them to utilize in mass production. That is the easy part.
And the hard part? What do you need to make this happen?
From what we've learned about the Herc, the best way to make this happen will be to enter the data into one of their core computer systems. It'll need to be a command-level system with fleet-wide override authority. Systems of that caliber are only found on Herc dreadnoughts.
The best defended ship of the fleet?
There's a Herc dreadnought heading toward the planet as we speak. It's slow, so we should be able to intercept it. I recommend we engage that ship and disable it, if possible. We'll need to get a team on board to carry out Julian's plan.
Agreed. Let's make it happen.
Loris and I have all we need. We're ready to be... Loris and I have all we need. We're ready to beam over when you are.
Curses, STO, and your popping boxes up.
We'll need to find their central computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the override process that will allow us to transmit our data on the cure. When that's done, we can instruct each ship in their fleet to replicate the cure and distribute it to every Herc on board. Of course, we need to reach the command center in one piece to do so.
We'll clear the way.
Enemy life signs ahead. Get ready to fight. Proceed with caution.
I am getting click happy. So yeah, so these tall ones here, they're captains. These are the ones you want to kill for the captain endeavor. So at this point, we've already killed 2. Then there's 2 more in this room here. Oh, they seem to have pulled it from another room. And then there's one in this room. And then there's 2 more captains in this room. One over there and one right here. Brashear?
Excellent work. It's time for Loris and I to finish this. Keep your weapons handy, however. We're breaking into a secure computer system here. The Herc are bound to take offense. Keep them busy while we do our work, or this will be a wasted trip.
You'll have the time you need, Doctor.
I was saving time by inverting the feed now instead of later. I wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore if it weren't for this Herc nonsense.
Running out of time, Doctor!
Perhaps you know of faster ways to translate Herc language and reverse engineer their technology.
This is the first time I've ever done this mission with an actual real set of kit modules.
Almost ready here. The system needs the physical samples of the cure for final analysis and processing. Shall I proceed?
Make it happen, Doctor.
Are you insane, Weyoun? That was our last hope.
How is this possible? You were in prison!
I was liberated by those who still served the true founders. Not everyone is a traitor to the Dominion, after all.
There is only one traitor here, Weyoun. It's time you paid the price for your treachery.
Pathetic. You can't even kill someone properly. Allow me to instruct you. You! Jemadar! Make yourself useful. Kill them. Giving you an order. Open fire. Kill them now.
I think not.
He's gone.
And not a moment too soon.
Bashir to command. Everyone, we have a problem.
Oh, Weyoun. Vibe to beam up.
Herc fleet is about to attack our position. We need to give the doctor the time he needs to transmit data on the cure.
Acknowledged. Red alert!
fix there, Odo.
Brilliant observation, Quark. What do you want?
Forgive my brother, Odo. We're here to help.
The Ferengi cavalry? I thought I'd seen everything.
Oh, the best is yet to come, Odo. Say hello to my dangerous friends.
Well, Quark, we're waiting.
Rom, where are they?
Lose something? Like your nerve, perhaps?
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Long ago, Takuvma, the Unforgettable, lit the beacon of Kahless to restore glory to the Empire. Today, a new torchbearer, Worf, son of Moog, does the same. United, we now go to fight the enemy of our ancestors. Today, we will fight the Herc. I now hold the weapon they fear most. The Sword of Kahless has been returned to us. Join me now in honorable combat. Show the Herc what it truly means to be Klingon. For Kahless, for the Empire, Kapla! time has come.
The arrival of the Klingons has given us more time in space, but the situation on the surface is dire. Herc's forces are breaking the Jem'Hadar defense lines. We need to do what we can to help. I'm beaming directly to the Great Link to aid my people.
Agreed.
The time has come. The Herc mean to ravage everything in their path. We will not allow it. We will stand against them, as Kalis once stood, defiant and proud. Fight well, and if need be, die well. Kapla!
Let's finish this. Five to beam down.
Whom do we seek? Kalis! How do we find him? Together! Kalis, give us light to see forever! Will he hide from us always? Never!
It's worse than we thought. Most of the Jem'Hadar lines have been broken. Even the Great Link is in danger. I'm going to coordinate our defenses at the link. Meet me there.
Good luck, Ambassador.
We'll meet you there as soon as we can. And Odo, be careful.
Let's go.
The Jem'Hadar have come to our aid. Now, we will return the favor.
Let's hope we're not too late. A little side note here. You do not have to kill any of the Herc in this. You can actually run right straight towards the end and continue the storyline. But if you do feel like you want to kill some Herc, this is a good way to do it.
Well, good. There are many Herc between us and the Great Link. We go there now to reclaim our lives, for we are already dead.
Victory is life.
He won't last long out in the open.
Odo to Kira. We're fortifying our position near the Great Link.
Understood. We're on our way.
I must confess my surprise at seeing you here, on this, the homeworld of the gods. Truly, we are living in strange times. You'll forgive my coldness, but there are still founders under attack nearby. Can I count on you to aid them and destroy the wretched creatures who would do them harm?
Yes, of course.
This changeling's losing morphogenic matrix stability. There are more friendly life signs nearby. We should do what we can with them.
Understood. go this way.
Is this some sort of solid invasion?
Yes. It is sort of a solid invasion.
You made it. Good. We're going to need all the help we can get here. It looks like the Herc are focusing their attacks on the link. I've called for reinforcements, but most of our lines have been overrun. We're going to make a stand here and hope the Doctor's plan is successful. If not, if we fail, this may be the day the Dominion dies.
Right. We'll make our stand here now.
Please tell me you have more Genhadar coming to help.
The call's been sent, but they may not arrive in time.
We'll do what we can with what we have then.
As always, until the end.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Odo.
Nerys, if we don't make it...
No, now is not the time for this discussion.
Look around. There may not be a better time.
You're right. And I understand what you do.
You do? Then you know how sorry I am for everything.
Yes. And
I know. I feel the same.
I think this is the first time I've ever held them to this point.
Nerys, are you hurt?
It's just a scratch. I'm fine. We're losing ground here, Odo. Keep fighting.
We can't hold this position much longer.
That's Jem'Hadar, for we're about to die, Doctor. Are you ready?
Not without the Ketracel components needed for the cure.
Ketracel. Yes. Victory.
Wait! Stop!
Is life.
It seems the battle is over, but how? What happened up there, Doctor?
I believe Dukan Rex realized that his own body contained the Ketracel material I needed to finalize the cure. He extracted what we needed at the cost of his. Once the Herc were able to synthesize the cure, they came to their senses and called for an immediate ceasefire. Their forces are withdrawing as we speak. It's over, Odo. I won't say we've won, but it's over.
Indeed. And at great cost. Yes. Let's set course for DS9.
There was nothing I could do for him on the Herc Dreadnought. The Ketracel extraction process was too devastating. Odo, you treated him like a son when we first found him on DS9, and I'm truly sorry.
He didn't even have a name when he left us. I'll make sure the name he found is never forgotten. I remember his first days on the station. All he wanted to do was fight. Didn't matter who. When he left, I thought I'd never see him again. Or if I did, it'd be as enemies. The man I met years later still knew how to fight, but his reasons for doing so had changed dramatically. I'm proud to have known him. I wish I could have done more in the end.
You made a difference in his life.
I suppose you're right. I believe Nerys, Captain Kira, was looking for you. She was at the Temple of the Prophets last I checked. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to pay my respects. We'll talk more later.
Very well. I'm sorry for your loss.
And here we are, once again. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Indeed. What's next for you, Captain?
Funny you should mention that. After we got back, Starfleet Command offered me a number of postings, even the center chair on one of those shiny new cruisers. Tempting. But I chose to join the command staff here on DS9. Bajor and the Celestial Temple mean a lot to me, and this station is a good place to keep them both safe.
True. Also close to our mutual friends in the Gamma Quadrant.
Subtle, but you're not wrong. Odo and I have a lot to work out before we're back to where we were, but We've taken a few good steps in that direction. I think it'll work out. Eventually. He's a hard man to read sometimes.
Also true. Until next time, Captain.
Hello again, my friend. It pleases me to see you. I have interesting news.
I hope it doesn't involve the Herc.
Thankfully, no. Rather, it involves the Orb of Peace that you returned with Kaiopaka. It has spoken to me. I've been exploring the meaning of that experience with the Kai and Captain Kira. They are, after all, experts on such matters. While we all find it curious that an Orb of the Prophets would speak to a Vorta, we also agree it would be foolish to ignore it.
What's your service to the Dominion?
With the blessings of Founder Odo, I have been transferred to this quadrant to continue my studies of the Orb and the Prophets. I shall also serve as Founder Odo's representative here. Diplomacy is my specialty, after all. I'm sure we'll be seeing one another again. May the blessings of the Founders and the Prophets be yours.
Glad to hear. See you around then. Yeah, well, Kira's never been one to follow the norms of what people would do.
It is good to see you once more. I was hoping we'd have a moment to speak on an important matter before your duties take you back to the stars.
What's on your mind, Eminence?
My thoughts often return to the Orb of Peace. It was no coincidence that it was found in the Gamma Quadrant, in the midst of two warring tribes. I believe it to be a message from the Prophets, one of guidance in troubled times.
I trust your expertise on such matters.
Now that the conflict with the Herc has ended, I feel it's time to explore this omen more thoroughly. The recent vision experienced by Loris is truly remarkable. That the Prophets would speak to a Vorta. Again, this is no coincidence. Simply put, I believe the Orb is meant to broker a lasting peace between the people of our quadrants and the Dominion.
I hope you're right, Eminence.
Thank you for coming to visit. After all we've been through, it means a lot to have friends. Even if it reminds me of the ones we miss. Speaking of reunions, I think General Martok is leading the charge against the Bloodwine at Quark's. I'm sure he'd want to congratulate you on another glorious victory. May the Prophets watch over you.
And you, Captain.
A hard-fought battle and a well-earned victory. And yet, we almost missed it. Our fleet would have never left the Empire if it weren't for the sword's return. Grilka tells me her former mate, Quark, had something to do with that. The sacred blade of Canis, returned to the Empire by a Ferengi. Madness!
Her current mate played a part as well.
Yes, it was Worf's idea to ignite the beacon of Canis. A bold move, but it paid off. Only a coward could refuse such a call to arms.
Indeed.
The legend of Kalis is stronger than ever. It would not surprise me if the High Council moved to create a new clone of the Emperor. There is great power in legend, after all.
True. Until next time, General.
We need to stop running into each other when the fate of the galaxy is on the line. I'd be fine with drinks here at Uncle's bar, or some baseball on the holodeck. That said, I can't think of too many people I trust when everything's on the line. Glad you are here for this.
Likewise. What's next for you?
Starfleet's assigned the Chimera to peacekeeping duty in Herc space. We'll be working with the Joint Task Force to help the Herc get back on their feet again as well. There's a lot to be done, but we want to help them rejoin the galactic community.
That's quite a task.
It is, but my crew is up for the challenge. They're some of Starfleet's best. Take care of yourself out there. Don't be a stranger.
Same to you, Captain.
Welcome back. Seeing as this is a private party and I'm in an unusually generous mood, you'll be getting the VIP discount on your drinks tonight.
You mean they're not on the house?
Did you take a hit to the head in that fight? I'm in a good mood. Not insane. Half off. Take it or leave it.
Fair enough. Cheers.
That's more like it. Don't take it personally. You could be Odo. His drinks, 50% markup.
I wouldn't let him hear that.
Can I get you something?
About the Sword of Kalis.
Not much to tell, really. Lex saw the error of his ways and gave it back. Then I had Grilka let Martok and Worf know we'd recovered their precious relic. A quick handoff later, and the Klingons were off to war. Rom and I tagged along, mainly to see the look on Odo's face when I rode in with the cavalry. That was priceless. If I die tomorrow, I'll go to the Exchequer with a smile on my face.
I'm sure. You didn't make a profit on the job?
Who do you think you're talking to? Nog? Unlike the Federation, the Klingons know the value of Latinum. I'm thinking of spending my cut on a smaller moon to orbit the one I already have. I might even name it Odo.
You're living dangerous, Quark. Good luck.
Can I get you something?
I'm fine for now. Yeah, this is the last appearance of both Renee and Aaron. It's really sad to know that those two have passed, and it's really even more sad when you hear Aaron Eisenberg's story behind the scenes. I really wish things would have turned out better for him.
I am forever indebted to you. Without your efforts, I would walk the path of exile for the rest of my days. Now, I will help make amends for all that has happened during Zencast's terrible crusade.
Make the most of this opportunity, Captain. Rom.
We'll be here at DS9 until my ship is repaired. Fortunately, I have exclusive rights to the holosim of the battle. The sales of that alone will cover the cost of repairs, and then some. Some days, it's good to be the Grand Nagus.
I can only imagine.
I don't like to think about how close to disaster we were, though. Fortunately, there were people like you out there to bring us all back from the brink. All those adventures. You've got quite a story to tell. That reminds me. Have you ever considered making a holo biography? I think your life story would be quite popular and profitable. I'll make you a very generous offer for the rights and cut you in on a share of the profits, say 25%.
Interesting offer, but I must decline.
Suit yourself. The offer still stands if you change your mind.
Thank you, Grand Nagus. Yeah, and you know the sad thing is, especially with TOS actors getting up there in age, next generation getting up there in age. Just unfortunately, more and more are going to be added to the list. So it's a good thing we get to enjoy them right now as they're still able to be around and do things, but slowly things are the pool of these legends are really getting smaller, and it's unfortunate.
Oh, I'm so glad to see this come to an end. But not as glad as everyone back on Ferenginar. It's a celebration of Rule 35 like no one's ever seen before. I mean, peace may be good for business, but things are really getting out of hand.
How so?
When word got out that the Gamma Quadrant was open for business, the new Latinum rush was on. Open borders and free trade policies? My husband was practically weeping with joy. Oh, poor Odo. He thought he had his hands full with Quark on DS9. Now, he's gonna have an entire quadrant full of Ferengi to deal with.
I'm sure he'll rise up to the challenge.
Interesting. There's a message from Garrick on my monitor here. Text only. He wants you to meet him at his old tailor shop. Maybe he's had enough of politics and wants to get back in the fashion game. Probably more profitable in the long run, and easier on the nerves.
That seems unlikely.
I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. He looks for secrets when he gets bored, and trust me, he's not the person you want poking around in your business.
Sounds like I should see what he wants. Yeah, it's also good to see even Nanda Visitor and Shimmerman were both in Lower Decks, which was really good to see. And it's nice that both Lower Decks and hopefully Prodigy here in the future we'll be able to add these actors in as cameos, just because they're within that time frame. Yeah, this is a very good story arc. I would still say of all the story arcs, currently my favorite, and I do like the Gamma arc. It's a little harder when you're a new player because the Gamma arc is really hard when you don't have the at least the halfway decent gear. But the New Frontier arc, especially when you're coming out of like the Iconian War and the Temporal War story arc, and you go right into New Frontier. New Frontier is just like perfect for me because it's like it really makes you feel like Star Trek when you're just out exploring stuff. And you get Kamarki, who is probably one of my favorite characters in Star Trek Online right now. Garrick.
Thank you for meeting me here. Strangely, I find it easy to center myself in this shop, even relax.
Memories of a simple time in your life?
Quite so. Cardassia is about to begin a new journey, as it were, and I'll be going along for the ride.
Sounds exciting.
Oh, it is. Cardassia has been offered membership in the Alliance, and we've accepted. Our seat at the table was hard-earned, but we're ready and grateful to join the ongoing efforts. Officer exchange programs have already begun. In fact, I suspect you'll be seeing more Cardassian faces in the future. I hope you show them the same courtesy as you've shown me in our shared adventures.
Of course. Where will you be doing all this?
Oh, I'll be spending time on Earth, Kronos, and New Romulus. The life of an ambassador is never dull, after all. Someone needs to make sure the Alliance doesn't forget about Cardassia, and I suppose that someone is me. I'll be sure to follow your exploits, of course. They'll be far more entertaining than economic forecasts and state functions, to be sure.
Thanks, I think.
The conflict may be over, but there's still plenty of work to be done. The Lucari have offered to help the Herc restore their homeworld's ecosystem, and they've accepted. Dr. Bashir will be working with us on this. It's our goal to ensure that no Herc will go without nourishment again.
An honorable goal.
Some time ago, I hoped for a path to peaceful resolution to our troubles with the Herc. I'm happy to be part of such a solution, at last. Thank you for your efforts in getting us all to this point. To peace.
You're welcome. Safe travels, Captain.
I believe our fearless leaders
would like to have a word with you next.
I won't ask you how you know. I'll be seeing you.
There have been some significant diplomatic events since your return from the Gamma Quadrant. First, the Dominion is joining the Alliance. Having them as allies will take some getting used to, but the opportunity was too great to ignore.
Agreed.
As a condition to joining the Alliance, we requested that the Founders take steps to free the Jem'Hadar from their addiction to Ketracel White. I'm happy to say that Ambassador Odo is inclined to comply with that request. It will make things interesting in the Gamma Quadrant, to be sure. Still, it's been a long time coming. The Jem'Hadar should be able to live their lives freely.
It's a risk, but one worth taking.
The Havas Cool sector has been designated as independent from the Dominion, and a Herc neutral zone has been established around it. The Empire will join the Federation and the Republic in keeping the peace between the Dominion and the Herc. We have experience in enforcing a neutral zone after all.
Indeed.
Martok's use of the beacon and the return of the blade has led to a renewed interest in Kahless throughout the Empire. Some say that Martok stands with honor next to great heroes like Tukuvma, Voke, Lorel, and Kang. As if getting along with the stubborn old Targ wasn't difficult enough, his ego will be larger than Mount Hamar at this rate. It is fortunate that Martok has little in the way of political aspirations. Otherwise, I may need to kill him. Again. Ha!
Both of you make the Empire stronger, Chancellor. Tatan.
I have initiated a dialogue between the Dominion and the Karema. In light of recent events, I feel it is imperative that their conflict is resolved peacefully. Whether that results in an independent Karema or not remains to be seen, but I shall endeavor to help them reach a result that is beneficial for both parties.
That's going to be a challenge for Council. Understood.
Things are finally settling down around here. Well, as much as it ever settles down, that is.
You're still in uniform, Doctor.
Well, there's a lot to be done with the Herc, and being part of Starfleet will help me make things happen in that regard. When I'm not here, I'll be working with the Lucari and the crew of the USS Aventine to help the Herc get back on their feet.
Havas Cool is a long way from home for you.
Indeed, but I happen to be married to the captain of the Aventine, so it won't be, too bad. The kids won't be joining us until Kumake and her team restore Havas Cool to a more habitable state, however. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. But until then, be safe out there. Doctor's orders.
The Dominion is about to go through a number of changes, liberating the Jem'Hadar from the White, phasing out the Founders' benevolent dictatorship, establishing a safe haven for the Herc. Needless to say, I'm going to be very busy for quite some time.
Not all of those changes will be popular.
No. There are still a number of Founders within the Great Link who will be very resistant to change. I'd like to think they're outnumbered by those willing to take a more democratic approach, however. The last thing anyone needs is a Dominion civil war.
Agreed.
Also, not all of the Herc were cured. We'll be dealing with rogue swarms for some time. I hope we can call on you in the future if we run into that special kind of trouble you have a talent for dealing with. Oh, and speaking of trouble, you might keep an eye on Quark. That little act of heroism with the Sword of Kahless will make him bolder than ever.
I can do as I can, Constable. I'll be honest, if they could have gotten the actress to do it, they probably would have. I'm
The future of the Dominion is uncertain for the first time in many years. Without the Founder and her unbreakable will at the center of it all, the Gamma Quadrant will undoubtedly go through a great deal of turmoil. I'll do what I can to maintain order and keep the peace, but it's going to be challenging, to say the least. For now, what matters to me is that you fought for the Dominion when we needed it the most. I won't forget that. And thanks to the Great Link, neither will the Founders. Thank you. I hope we meet again, under much better circumstances.
I wish we could, Odo. I wish we could.
Congratulations, Admiral. Starfleet Command has commissioned another historical tactical simulation, and they'd like you to evaluate it as soon as possible. Ja'ula and her agents were a force to be reckoned with during the war, and were a direct influence on a number of critical events that took place then. This simulation will put you in the midst of one such event. I look forward to seeing your results.
So I'm gonna go AFK here for a couple minutes, and I'll be right back, and we'll do. I think we're gonna do Storming the Swarm. All right. Looks like we've had everybody drop off. I will say at this point, before I start doing some endeavors, if you have liked what you've seen, hit that like button. If you like to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I do subscribe again. I do appreciate those who have watched me today. So we're going to see how the Vengeance flies through the Spire, and then after we do that, we will actually switch over to my Romulan so I can try to finish out the plasma damage. Let's go ahead and head back to ESD and just kind of hang out there. I'm happy to be done with the Gamma arc. It is a pretty good arc. It is, as we've been talking here, two really good actors has passed away since they finished up the Gamma arc with Renee Aubin. Jonas. He has a French name, which it makes it hard for me to pronounce. But and then Aaron Eisenberg. And like I said, you hear some of the difficulties Aaron Eisenberg went through in his lifetime. It makes that story even sad. Or sadder, but it's unfortunate. Bald Klingork. I happen to like the baldy Klingorks myself. My main Klingon on my main account is a Klingork. And maybe someday I'll go through on what my opinions are fully of the disco Klingons. So now we're here, so let's go ahead and just queue up for the Spire. I have never flown through the Spire with a Vengeance before, so this should be interesting. I have flown through with the Tucker, so I'm assuming this should actually be very similar to the Tucker. Dyson, storming the Spire. Oh wait, no. Oh man, never mind. I got the Breach and the Spire mixed up in my mind. Storming the Spire is easy. Now I'm kind of wanting to do the Breach instead. I guess we'll go ahead and do this. Actually, if that's the way it is, I think I'm actually just going to change characters. And we shall go Romulan up the story. To boom. This is my Delta character. And I actually need to check a few things, because I don't know. Wait, do I have all the traits I need for him? No. Do I have Cannon Scatter Volley? I don't have Cannon Scatter Volley. I don't have a lot of stuff. I need to... I don't have a lot of stuff, actually. So... since I'm on him, we can dry dock that. Dry dock that. Don't need that one. Dry dock that. Don't need that one. So, is this a beam or it's a cannon? Alright. So let us start working on cannon scatter volley. Let's get this stuff out of my inventory first. Don't need any of you. I could probably put down a different ship. I don't think I have picked up. What is my... I don't have anything. Have I... Do I have stuff on you? Dry dock. I don't think I have enough room to dry dock everything. I have a lot of these ships because I do believe I did my Admiralty on this character. Did I do Admiralties on this character? I did, yeah, so. I picked up the fleet ships on this character to help me do the Admiralties. So I think that one. Oh. So we are gonna ready this. We're gonna continue without saving. Back to here. I want a torpedo instead of cannon. Put that back on there. Did I not get... I don't think I bought the fleet engines. I remember if it's fleet or if it's a if it's a reputation. Boy, that's how long it's been since I've purchased gear. I'm gonna cancel this out. Yeah. So I need to get some discovery marks on this because I'm going to be needing them. With that being said, oh my god. How many of those do I need? Let us put this down here. We can discard that because we will never use it. Vent. Reclaim. I need you. Because I need... Oops. I need this specifically. That, probably want this, and I want this. Here, we shall place both of these. Down there. And throw this up on some random ship. Alright. So that means I'm going to have to set my tray. A lot of work to just to just do oh boy, these are all messed up. We're gonna move you over, put you here, move you here, move you here, and then move you here. That way, if I switch him into a 5-4 or 5 forward arc ship, I don't have to readjust my thing. And you need to adjust these ships. Alright. I don't have I have 2 tactical teams. Tactical team here. And a high yield. Boy, my mentality on how I ran my characters has changed 100% since I've played this. So I need to go make some changes because so I played this character last summer. Yeah, seems about right. So I moved away from, just looking at this right here, I moved away from putting an emphasis on shields to putting an emphasis on weapons. So that's got to change. Plus I have to get do I not have a character who has scatter volley 3? Romeo tactical officer doesn't have anything that I want on here. I feel like I'm missing something. What did I do?
Greetings. How can I assist you today?
I have everything. I know a few officers I can get. Don't need that. Just gonna claim Lita. Not double table one. Join. All of this work just for claim. available to me. Then do events, claim rewards. A lot of stuff on here that I actually need to grab, but I just won't worry about it right now. We'll go ahead and get Catherine. Now let's go ahead and grab some money because I need to make some changes. We will grab $1 million. And we'll grab go purchase Scatter Volley 3. Do I at least have... I do have Spread 3, okay. Scatter Volley. Aye. Bay. Alright. Tovin, you're gonna learn a new skill. Spread. This can be tactical team. Do I have tactical team? I don't. That I can purchase. Oh, I thought I opened you. Join. So I need tactical team 2. And then so who gets tactical? Tobin gets tactical team 2. Then I need distributed targeting and what's that last one? I'm trying to pull this stuff out of my head. I have to look it up. I click it when it's on my bar. Search. Strib. Muted. Boy, do I want to spend 9 million on a side character? No. Probably means that the other ones are that expensive too. So we will just deal with it. Not required. So, think I have high yield on one of them. And the other one's just going to be a lost... yeah, that's just going to be a lost one. So I actually need... some engineering space. And then... directed energy. For Vero. This is not the most DPS build, but it is what I have. Alright. Oh, and then I need emergency powered engines. That's what I need. Alright. Wait. Oh, no, I need that to be Omega. This needs to be Scatter. This needs to be TAC 2. No, it's just a waste. Beta Omega, that's all correct. Tonic, that's all correct. Traits for me. Go down here. That's all correct. Space rat. Crit Spirity. That is all correct. Guess it doesn't really matter. I have nothing else to put on there, so we'll go with it. Now we can set our trays. By the way, if you're watching and if you do like me stumbling around setting my trays up, please give me a like. If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified if I post a video or stream again. At least that looks a lot better. I had finished up the Gamma arc here earlier. I'm just trying to finish up the night with my endeavors. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. Put you over here and go there. Engine capacitor and damage. Oh, this is an engineering character, so no alpha on this one. I, for a very long time, preferred engineering characters, so a lot of my characters are made as engineers, especially characters that I'm going to keep but not play full time. Like this one. Here, get some engines, get some weapons, engineering fleet. Have that on there. It's on there. Move this down. If you've ever seen me do my my things here, it's always the same. Goes there. So I have so I use a mouse that has the number keys on the side of it. So when I'm pressing my keys, I am hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on my mouse. If I'm gonna do my damage... Boy, that's loud. Somebody just sent me a message. If I am other damage stuff, I put it on shift, because shift is a very easy key to hit as I'm flying around. And then I put defensive stuff on control, because control is the second easiest to hit. And then I put the final bits on alt. And then anything I don't need to click quickly, I just have those in other places. One of these days I might... Oh, jeez. That's my wife driving me crazy. But yeah, so that's how I do my keys, is just why I got this up, because I accidentally dropped. Yeah, that's how I do my keys. But one of these days I might... Oh, that's the double. One of these days I might do some keybind thing or something like that, but that is way too much effort for what I'm trying to do. One of these days I'll decide that damage is important and actually do DPS stuff. I actually want to move these like this. That goes here, that goes here. Wow, this is like really limited on what I have. Here. Flip these around. Oh, I need to turn off the ugliness. Disable. 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 And probably that'll be fine for right now. Okay. Now we can storm the spire and hopefully get 500,000 plasma damage in the process. So I've set up my characters. So my primary Klingon character is disruptor damage. My primary Romulan, which is this character, is plasma damage. My primary Jem'Hadar character is Polaron, and then I'm going to slowly make my main character Dolan on this account, everything else, but currently my Klingon has all that damage because he had to go through all the endeavors. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to move this to here, because I feel like I'm going to be popping in and out of stealth too much. Do my so Tovin, yep, cooldown, Vero. Let's damage outer cloak, Baka, cloak cooldown, and damage outer cloak, and Satra. Cloak cooldown. Oh, you would think that as a universal, there'd be more people at least trying to do it. Oh. Almost made the biggest mistake I could make, and that's not turning up my power. Who needs shields when they're just going to kill you in one hit anyway? Raider logic. So a few things in Star Trek news. Discovery got canceled, which I think was a long time coming. Well, I actually like Discovery, and this is the reason why. I use Discovery, and Lower Decks for that matter, to introduce my wife to Star Trek, which allowed us to have something that we can enjoy together. So, because my wife didn't have any preconceived notion of what Star Trek should be like, she was able to enjoy them both without too much judgment. I like Star Trek, so I didn't have any care about what the story is about, or what Klingons look like, or what starships look like for Klingons. So it was enjoyable for me to watch, and so yeah, I am kind of sad that the story or that Discovery is getting canceled, but I do think it's kind of sad that they had to do a time jump all the way in the future just so they could just get away from everything else. I do think there is a huge potential for a storyline within that time frame that that could have been explored with Discovery. Though I will say that generally most series don't last for more than 5 seasons anyway. That's been like that for a while now. But yeah, sad to see it go. I will say some things I didn't like about the story. The whole burn thing. I never understood the burn. I think that was just an opportunity for them to cause a problem that didn't need to happen. I think it was... I can imagine that in the writer's room, they had to find a way to shrink down the Federation to make the story smaller so that it was easier to tell a story. And by if you allow technology to increase over that time, then the area was too big. Though, I mean, Discovery still can hop anywhere in the can still hop anywhere in the universe, and it doesn't really matter. But I do think that was part of the reason why they did the burn. But I mean, it was alright. but sad to see it go. I have been liking Picard, though. Picard's been good. Though I do hope they it's almost like they've had a 3-hour episode, because they're kind of doing the same thing for the last 3 episodes. It's still been pretty good though, but hopefully they moved along here shortly. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this TFO. I might go just jump into a I still have more than a day to do this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... I really wanted to do a TFO, but we'll just go jump into a patrol so I can get my damage. We should go to the current system. And I will say, if you are watching and you do like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button.
Thank you for coming.
If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I stream again.
We did it.
We did it.
That rift's unstable. We need to hurry, or those ships won't make it.
Klingon vessels are warping into your position.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
You can tell when I'm on one of my side characters, because I definitely would have hit 500,000 damage on one of my main characters by now.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Klingons are approaching our position.
Almost dangerous. I don't know if that was lag that locked me in there or what, but I got locked right next to a ship about ready to explode. I'm surprised I didn't blow up yet. Nailed it. So I discovered I need to do some discovery marks, so we'll just go ahead and do that.
I think that was the last of them. It
Any
appears
trash?
Jaula and her forces have been stopped. Indeed.
Indeed.
I think that indeed.
Indeed. How far did they get me along? They actually did pretty good. Alright. Dock. And I can finish the rest of that at a later date. So unfortunately no Storming the Spire today, because 5-minute wait says that no one wants to play Storming the Spire today. We're gonna throw that in the bank, so I can open them up on one account. Put this there too, that there. But I think I'm gonna call it a night. If you haven't watching, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you do like to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I stream again. Stop by anytime. I do have a video on the Klingon recruit that's been up for here for a couple weeks. I am working on a video for endeavors, on how to do endeavors. That's probably one of the reasons why that's just kind of sitting there with 2 points on there. That should be coming up here within the next day or two. Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.